Hello again, I am Blunty and I am in New York. New York, the city's so great they had to name it twice. I hear it's a wonderful place, all that kind of stuff. And I'm actually liking the city more than I thought it would. Huge claustrophobic cities just put me on edge sometimes. New York's been great so far. But the reason I'm here is because of all this behind me. Intel have just announced their three newest gen series of CPUs. Their new Core series, their new Extreme series, and the new high-performance desktop CPU as well.
We are taking performance to new levels today with the launch of our all-new 9th gen Intel Core desktop processors led by our flagship, the i9-9900K.
But it is that i9 which has most people excited, I think. It's the first time an i9 has been slotted into the consumer level stuff. Intel are sort of seeing the pattern out there that more and more of us are gaming and producing content around our games and things like that. With up to 8 cores, 16 threads, and running it up to 5 gigahertz. It's a very, 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 very promising product indeed. And I can't wait to get my hands on one and see what they actually do in the real world, because the stuff I'm seeing on the demos behind me here is all very exciting. And they are calling the i9-9900K. There are a lot of nines in that sense. The i9-9900. I'm going to trip over that a lot when I'm doing voiceovers or future reviews and stuff. I can already feel it. I can feel it swelling in my mouth. The i9-9900K. It's not that bad. I'll get used to it, I'm sure. I've lost the train of thought. I was going to say something. They're calling it. That's where I was going with this. They're calling it the world's best. This is going well. I think this is going well. Do you think this is going well? This is going smooth. You glad you paid for me to come to New York to say this to the camera, Intel? You happy with this level of professionalism? I think it works. Comes across as personable, don't you think? Not too highly polished. Trustworthy. But anyway, a lot of the sort of take-home facts about the process they're talking about today is they've sort of upped the per-core performance, they've upped the sort of speed these things run at, they've got a new turbo technology which picks the two best cores, runs those at peak frequencies when you need that single-core performance going. And a lot of games still do benefit a lot from that, and a lot of other applications do benefit from that when you're not doing sort of full-on across-the-board multitasking across all the cores and things like that, so that's really nice to have as well. PCI lanes, they're ramping up the number of PCI lanes, which is really nice if you're like me and have a whole bunch of stuff attached to your system. I've got multiple capture cards and, of course, my GPU and SSDs up the woozah. I don't know what a woozah is, but I've got SSDs up it. I'm seeing a doctor about it. I hear they make ointments for it. Can we just pause for a second and recognize that I just did that joke? I'm embarrassed by it. One of the interesting things about the i9-9900K actually is they've done all of this. They've ramped it up to 5 gigs. They've got that new Turbo Max technology. They've 40 PCIe lanes, up to 40 PCIe lanes and all that kind of stuff. And they've still kept it under the thermal envelope of the previous product. It's still a 95-watt product. And of course here at the event they've got all kinds of demo stations showing off some stuff. I just had a mind-blowing experience watching some sort of 8K video editing stuff going in and out and processing and encoding for YouTube and stuff like that. And just progress bars. I'm not used to seeing progress bars go because I do all my video editing on a MacBook laptop, which has an Intel chip in it, but it's not one of these fancy, incredible new desktop ones. So my it's no. We've got another demo station where they're using one machine to run 2 different games and stream each individually, but at the same time using 2 different virtual machines inside there, which is just not something that most people would do, but it is a cool way to show off what you can do with these things. And of course, we've got the requisite overclocking stations back there as well. On the overclocking front of things, outside of the deleting the thing and pouring liquid nitrogen on, which is always fantastic and cool and sort of a fun little sport in and of itself, one of the important things to note about overclocking these chips at home yourself using standard retail coolers is they have finally put in soldered thermal interface material. So the heat transfer from the die through to the heat spreader on top and thus through to your cooling system is going to be even more efficient, which is really exciting news for those of us who like to kick our systems up just a little bit extra, get a bit of free performance out of those overclocks. And I know that's got a lot of people excited for a couple of different reasons. On one hand, some of the pessimists are going, well, finally they've got solder thermal interface material, and the optimists are going, hey, look at what we can do now. But yeah, all in all, a very exciting series of product announcements and launches, and I'm very excited by a couple of them personally. I hope you are too, and it's exciting to see Intel sort of really ramping this stuff up. I mean, we know who we have to thank for that. Competition is good for us all. It's good for the consumer. It's good for the people who make these things to get push the industry forward. And This is Intel's response to the other guys going, hey, more and more and more cores. Intel are going, yeah, we can do that too, but our cores do it better. Look at what we can do. So it's an exciting time to be a nerd. So now that I've had my say and I've told you about my experiences here, now you tell me what you think. Which products have piqued your interest most? I'm guessing for most of you, knowing my audience as I know it, is the 9900K. It's got to be sort of the new, gorgeous, the want product in the lineup, don't you think? So go ahead and pop a comment in the down below area. Let me know. And thank you to Intel for bringing me to New York, my first trip to New York. And I'm quite enjoying myself, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, you guys tell me, what are you interested in? You tell me what you want me to do with one of these things once I get it in my hand. What kind of build you want me to do with this thing? I'm going to assume you want me to do an extreme gaming build that can stream and game and thing all on the one system, because that's what I want to do with it. Thanks for watching. I'm Blunty, and we'll catch you next time.